Now, though, back on the 27th of June 2001, right here on This Morning, a model was born.
You, the viewer, have chosen David to be the male face of 2001. David will be taken onto the books by Select, and he's got a fantastic career ahead of him. Well done, David.
Oh, now, after entering our modelling competition 10 years ago, David Gandy has since been named Britain's #1 male model and the third most successful model in the world. And he joins us now. What a lovely guest to have on the show. Hello there.
It's funny, actually, because after that competition, you would have thought, right, OK, you've won that, and then the world becomes your oyster. But that's not the way it worked.
No, not at all. I mean, because when I came into it, you know, I was straight out of university. And,
you were 21 at the time, weren't you?
21. I looked about 15 from looking at that old footage. And then that time in the modelling world, it was all about the Dior guy, the skinny, androgynous young guy, which I kind of, you know, I was young, but I certainly wasn't skinny, and 6'3" of me and everything else. So I was.
Well, you were known as the big guy, weren't you? So they say, right,
yeah,
OK, where's that big guy?
Really? So they had that in the male model business as well, because, you know, for years everyone said in women's modelling they have it.
Yes, no, it was determined kind of, yeah, that was the fashion in the industry at the time, that was...
So how do you go about turning it around? How do you end up, as we said in that introduction, with such high accolades in the modelling world?
I mean, I think a lot of probably guys in my position probably would have quit, and I think a lot of people do. You start with a lot of guys and you realise they kind of filter off, but I could see the potential of the industry. You know, I could see what the accolade and the claim that the girls were having, you know, with the supermodels. So I really just stuck at it, and you know, something with fashion's changed. Fashion's always come around again. So I kind of always thought that, you know, there was be a time again when classical, good-looking guys would be back in the industry.
But you don't want that to be when you're 50. You know,
no,
so you want it to come around,
bad timing,
because
exactly,
it's got to be on a quick cycle, hasn't
it? But also
it?
we kind of, you know, with the management, I mean, Select, who, you know, won the competition with 10 years ago. I'm still with again today, and Tan Jansen, who's just the most amazing kind of agent, and we started to turn it around. I was doing a lot of commercial work and a lot of stuff over in Germany to make ends meet, and you know, the money was good and everything else, but I wanted to work with the best. I wanted to be with the best photographers, and I always said I wanted to do an iconic that was strange. I always said, my mum said, what do you want to achieve? I said, I would love to do an iconic commercial to be known for, and you know, slowly, and then we did Light Blue.
The D&G commercial was the one. That was the iconic, and there you go. This is
this was everyone
campaign.
Enjoyed this advert.
11 million hits.
I enjoyed making, actually, wasn't it?
I think you were in Capri, weren't you? And you had Mario Testino film it all.
It was very good. Speedboats, 6 o'clock in the morning over to the island. It was a dream. It was very kind of surreal.
And it was a dream as far as the career was concerned, because it did turn it around. And it's interesting because it does feature in this book here, and what an amazing book to have.
Yes.
I don't know. Is there any other male model that has a book like this?
I don't think in the history of my model. I don't think a model has. That's why it's such an honour.
Well, it's beautifully put together. I have to be very careful when I
through this,
because you do actually take all your clothes off in here. What was the what was the, you know, the thought behind that when the photographer says, right, okay, well now you can take off the pants?
I think that's my favourite question of yours.
It's not my favourite question. Because I don't know. The point was that, you know, when I first did it was for a calendar, and that was a promotional thing for when we did the underwear campaign, and we were bringing back something like Herb Ritts and Bruce Weber did in the 80s with guys, and it's like a physical form of a man, and we're very embarrassed in this country with bodies and nakedness. There's much roping in Europe. So we just kind of brought back something that was very popular.
So this book is completely made up of shots that you've done when you've been working with Dolce & Gabbana.
The whole entire thing is every collaboration, every project I've done with Dolce & Gabbana.
And it's amazing because the profits of this book are all going to kind of help with work at the Uffizi in Florence to kind of for future generations.
Yeah.
So explain how that works. What's going on there?
It's just all the artwork of all the greats, I think in Florence, that is put on a huge database for generations today and generations tomorrow.
To be accessed worldwide.
To be accessed worldwide, yeah. Which is, you know, the calendar we did was called David. It was influenced by the statue David, and we thought it was a nice or very apt kind of.
And this is including works by Botticelli and Da Vinci and Raphael and Michelangelo. So it's
and if you can't make it, it's all there for everyone to see.
You do say that you take about 85+ flights a year. Is that right? Do you still do that?
I'm trying to cut it down a little bit, but you never know what, you know, this industry, with a job you never know, so you just keep plowing away and it's job after job. So I came back from Milan yesterday, I'm in London, I'll go to Paris tomorrow, I'll go to New York the week after.
And your girlfriend's Molly from the Saturdays, so I mean, that's got to be tough on any relationship, hasn't it, to be able to, and she's in a band, so she's all over the place as well.
So yeah, I mean, if I knew where, you know, if she was in a normal job, I know, you know, she would be in one place at one time, but we're not, so she's kind of flying about. And it's summer season for her as well, I think, which is festival season, and she's on Radio 1 today, and I'm on here.
Are you going to see any of her gigs?
If I can make it. I mean, I've kind of booked up for work through July and August now as well, but I'm sure I'll make it to a few.
Well, you see, I think there'll definitely be a time one day when you'll be able to calm down.
Yeah.
In a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.